Alright, so what's up, guys? Quick video on the channel. We just wanted to give you some of our afterthoughts on this Jake Paul versus Ben Askren thing. Yep. This being such a big event for the YouTube community, I have to address a couple things. Now, I know I was critical on a few points where I didn't want Jake Paul to win because I was, I wanted just this whole disrespectful aspect of the shit talking and all this other stuff. I'm not too crazy about. I prefer the the respectful route. Blah 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 blah. Cool. Forget about all that. Ben Askren being such a decorated overall fighter, maybe not the best in striking, but overall fighter, I wanted to see him succeed as well. Cool. Watching one of the best YouTube channels in the whole space, Mr. Sugar Sean O'Malley, he brought up he brought up many good points, but he brought up one thing that tied it all together and made me, hands down, just start I was like, okay, Jake Paul, you got it. Something that he brought up that had me not second guessing, but just kind of like, yo, you're right, blah, 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 is this. He didn't word it like this, but this is me putting my spin on it. I want you guys to name whoever your favorite boxer is, whether it's Demetrius Andrade, whether it's the Charlo twins, whether it's Canelo, whether it's Mayweather, whether it's Tyson Fury, Anthony Joshua, Mike Tyson. Name me the first 20 people they fought. That's just one. Name me the first 20 people they fought. That's number one. Number two, I'm sure that any of those guys on the come up within their first 10 fights wish in a million years that their first fight they could sell out an arena or a stadium or a venue. People are coming,
selling any tickets, period.
Thank you. With that being said, that kind of just brought everything together for me, because it's like, okay, can you imagine being an amateur boxer, not even an amateur, I'm sorry, a professional boxer now, technically a professional boxer now, and already you're selling out millions of pay-per-views, millions of like thousands of seats. That's what you're doing off rip. He basically skipped the whole amateur process and all this wild shit and went straight to the Mayweather superstardom.
That's it.
And you cannot blame anybody for being in that position and taking advantage of, everybody's opponents, the first 15 plus opponents are handpicked to make you look the best. Always in any sport. I mean, because Jake gets the reaction out of people and all this, it makes niggas not think straight. Yeah. Now that I'm thinking shit, I'm like, of course he's doing this, duh.
Of course, yeah.
Duh. And now, I see a lot of people like, you gotta get into somebody real, somebody this, somebody, and it's like, yes, somebody may be a little more skilled, because we see what you could do. You got the hands now, we get it. Because the people you have fought prior to this, everybody's been trashed. Right now you're 4-0, technically 3-0. The Deji fight, we were just talking, I don't know why that's not counted towards your record, but it was a professional count towards your brother's record, but not against yours. Whatever. Either way, you should have got that. It should be 4-0 right now. That's, I'm just, to your credit. Then Paul versus Gibb, another YouTuber. We're not gonna. We know these gentlemen aren't really fighters. The person that could have gave you the most was Nate Robinson. Again, not a fighter. And then the person who should have gave you, Ben Askren. Boom, you did what you did in under a minute. Was that a minute?
It was 90 seconds. But still, the ref ended it way too early. Ben could have kept going 100%.
Bro, you know what would have happened if Ben would have kept going?
I don't think Ben would have won. I'm just saying.
No. You know what would have happened? He would have got knocked the fuck out. Like who?
Like Nate Robinson?
Yeah. You saw him. We only remember the last knockdown. Do you know he got? Remember the two knockdowns before that?
Yeah, I know.
I'm just saying that the first one kind of looked. The first Nate kind of looked like that.
For people's money and for how big of a fight it was and how much of a beating Ben can take, I think he could have let it keep going. John McCarthy said that he's like the ref was too small time for this. He's not used to reffing big fights with big consequences.
I would have saw real shit though. I really think it would have ended worse than just that knockdown.
Maybe it would have lasted another 30 seconds. Who knows? Maybe another 10 seconds.
And he maybe he's not getting up. Like I would rather this be the knockdown and that's it. Not you laid out face front and you can't move type shit. Like I'm glad that it happened like that.
Ben walked away smiling. He was ready. I think in part of his head he's like, yeah, it's over. That's what's up. Let's go. I'm out.
I feel like he didn't train as well. I mean, it doesn't even matter. That doesn't even matter. The point is this. The point is to give credit where credit is due. The point is to give credit right now. The point of this whole video was to just make some talking points on Jake Paul. Like, congrats, bro. First of all, congrats on all your success. Congrats on the win you just got. Shout out to Ben Askren. I'm still a fan. Still love everything you do. I think you're a great guy. I just wanted to make this very clear. If any professional fighter at that age were in his shoes with that type of how do I say, with the unlimited resources and the unlimited anything really to do whatever the fuck you want, I think everybody would be doing the same exact thing. Now, the fact that he is so brash about it and so vulgar, you know, shit talking and all this shit, that's where, you know, a lot of people, that's where some people may have an issue, like myself. Like, I'm not too crazy about that kind of shit, but
sells fights.
No, absolutely. I'm not trying, again, I'm not hating. I'm not trying to hate. I'm just letting y'all know.
Marketer than he's a boxer.
I mean, that's arguable now. It's doing this. It's doing this because he's.
Yeah, but you've never been able to argue his marketing. You know.
No, 100%. No, never. But yeah, I just wanted to come on here quickly and just say, hey man, if you guys can name me the first 20 people off the top of your head, because you know and you cared that much, the first 20 people that Mayweather ran through, Canelo ran through, because Canelo was already close to 50-0 before he fought. Before he had close to 50 professional fights before he fought Mayweather. Not that he wasn't a nobody before Mayweather. I'm sure the only reason he got that fight was because he was that guy, and they think that Mayweather was smart for taking it that early. But either way, if you could name me the first 20 people, then cool. But the point is, Jake Paul's doing it right, and he's already selling. Anybody in this position would ask any low level fighter that's just starting off if it were up to them and they could sell fucking arenas and make millions off this shit. He's making more money than most top boxers now.
Yeah.
And he just started.
And he has a stake in the promotion that's making the money. But it's crazy. Much respect to him. I can't wait to see him fight Conor.
That's not good. I don't see that going. I don't see that going to go. You see, again, we're handpicking opponents.
I don't see.
We're not picking extremely good strikers. You're not calling out Israel Adesanya, which was a professional boxer before this. You're not calling out people like Mike Perry who boxed before this. There's a bunch of people
in
here.
Of him sparring
yeah, I saw him. And I like what Mike Perry said. Mike Perry was like, "Yo, I was just being a good. Like, I was happy to be there. He was doing this thing. Like, I was happy to be there. I'm not. He's like, I wish I was pissed when I was there, because then it would have been a different story. But I was happy to be there. Like, I was trying to be respectful. Like a good. You're coming up. I'm a professional fighter. Like, hey man, good job. You kicked my ass. Good job, buddy. Like, not. Listen. One thing I will say, like, I love, obviously I love everything he's doing, Jake Paul and all this shit, but you could never, ever, and this is just being real, you could never unless I saw you training, but you know you have no chance in the cage with these guys. If we're talking about full,
it's a different.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But people sit there and talk like wild shit, and it kind of made me cringe when Jake Paul's like, "I'll fucking beat your ass," and but all this is a Ben Askren, but Ben Askren's like, "Yo, if I saw you in a back alley, like, I would, it wouldn't."
Because I could just hem you up.
You can throw all the punches you want. If I can get my hands on you to do whatever else, dude. People, you must have forgot what Ben Askren actually does. He was Khabib and motherfuckers before Khabib was popular to do that. So
sure, but I mean, there's no Khabib in this. It's basketball and soccer. I mean, boxing and MMA they have the same principle. There's a ball involved, but it's a lot different.
Yeah. Either way, man, there's been another video. I just wanted to make something. I just wanted to come and not clear the air, but just kind of clear my conscience about how I felt about the fight and the way things played out. I just think, at the end of the day, I think Jake Paul is making all the right moves. Period. Like, everybody in the beginning of their career fights the worst opponents to get the most dubs and keep that record clean. And he's doing nothing different. The only difference is that he has every single eye on him.
And I'm as much as I like Ben Askren, I did say I kind of wanted Jake Paul to win, because if he wins and the next opponent gets bigger and bigger, a loss is not going to be good for the trajectory.
Now, I don't think that I don't know how he's gonna get a bigger opponent and again around the same skill set. Right now they're talking about him getting a bigger opponent, cool, but I don't see him beating somebody who's like that. Like, we're gonna see who he calls out next. Somebody said, let's see which non-boxer he calls out next. Hey, they were talking about him fighting Nate Diaz. I would love to see that, because Nate Diaz was a professional boxer. Yeah. He was calling out Daniel Cormier.
That's funny.
That's mad funny.
Oh yeah, one thing I wanted to say is if you watch the podcast, did you watch the podcast with on Logan with him? He was on Impulsive 2 days before the fight.
No, I want to see it now. They need to go up there now.
He might. Yeah, they set up. Logan brought the whole podcast to his Airbnb. The sign, the set, sure? Like George, Mike.
You're lying. I know that stuff, but what do you mean the whole sign?
Well, like, he bought like a whole fake wall with a big Impulsive sign on it. He did it right, and it's at his Airbnb. It's fire. You get behind George is like the pool. You get to see it go to. But anyway, the only reason I bring it up is that because he's like, listen, man. He says to the gist of it, not verbatim. I called out McGregor, and what did that do? He's like, obviously I know I wasn't gonna get a McGregor fight that day, but then McGregor talked about your fight, Logan. He's like, so me even calling out McGregor promoted my brother's fight and got that fight bigger. He goes, it got my fight bigger. He's like, he really he drops the whole troll shit and really talks about kind of how it gets.
It just when you have the numbers like that, man, and you've been not manipulating, but you've been you've been in this media game and learning how to, you know, this whole time, regardless of what you portray online, yo, he's a smart fucking kid. Like a smart. Both these kids are fucking smart as fuck, man. Like it's crazy.
Who knows?
Bro.
You know, this is the beginning of his career. You never know how careers can go. We might look back in 20 years big. Remember when Jake Paul started, and he could be a fucking
he can be that guy.
He could be that guy who you really never know, and we might eat our words, but we've already eaten our words a couple times when it comes.
To the funny thing is that, you know, I feel like every generation we find loopholes, and not necessarily loopholes, but we find like we do things better than the last. Like we tend to, all right, cool. This is the most of what can be done. Mayweather is the most of what can be done. Let's say boxing wise, as in like, you know, you make the most money, you can generate the most absolute anything. In boxing has been Mayweather as far as like financial gain goes. Jake Paul, like not Jake Paul, but I feel like our generation sees that and like figures out a way to skip the entire first 30 years of his life.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and Mayweather's been like...
He's starting where Mayweather is almost where he's capping out at.
When he switched from Pretty Boy to Money Mayweather.
Yeah,
he's
but I'm
kind
just...
of like already...
At this point... Like the money that I'm not saying that he's making the same money as Mayweather, but he's making like I would say like I'm not like he's in the top 10 for sure. Jake Paul already, because I know not many people make that much money, but he's already in the top 10 roughly. Let's just say, you know, give or take or whatever. But as far as making money goes, actively, I don't know, like the way our generation figures out how to start there where you are. Like, that's just crazy, my nigga. He broke down all these walls. Imagine starting at the finish line. Like, starting your professional career at the finish line. It's just crazy to me. And I feel like we're going to keep doing that. We just figured out a way to literally go zoom. He hopped in a time loop, bypassed everything, and went straight to the superstardom, which is, like, you can't hate on that. So
the thing to me though is that it starts off when you start off so high, like the burnout can be crazy. So you never know.
And you know what's crazy? You have a 10-0. You have a 10-0 undefeated and call it a day. You can beat Jake and do that. And yo, fam, and you still not even 30. You're not even 30 years old, my nigga. He's 24.
Yeah, no, he could honestly retire. He could retire today if he wanted, and honestly just make his next fight bigger, because he could come back in like a year or two.
I was gonna say that. Like, I was just gonna suggest that. Not just, but like, I was gonna say that before. I'm like, yo, if he chose to just do that stupid game that they all do, but here's the only reason they do that. The main reason why people do that is to get more money and to get better negotiations.
That's not a concern.
There it is.
Anyway, guys, this has been another video. Great fight. We're obviously going to be ready for the next Jake Paul fight. We're going to be looking forward to it.
I guess Logan Paul.
Yeah. One day. He's about to fight Mayweather, so that's crazy. Yep. But yeah, shout out to Ben Askren as well. We still fuck with him heavy. He's still a super humble guy. But yeah, we'll be back with another content soon. Another content on the fighting soon. This Saturday, we're live again for the
Jorge Masvidal
against Usman. That's actually three titles going up that night. The homegirl,
Zhang Wei Li.
She's gonna be there.
I'm probably not saying it right.
I hope that she has a better. I hope she got a better translator. If not, we're gonna see round 2 of Get It Together, bro.
God damn it, Get it together, bro. Fuck.
Hey, man, Joe Rogan, I got it together. Let's do this.
This is his cousin. If you guys need a translator, I'm sorry. All right, peace out, guys.